Hi, this is Lonya with another StarCraft 2 commentary, and this time it's a Protoss against Zerg, and we've got the Zerg in the top left, and I don't know exactly who it is, but as the Protoss in the bottom right in red, we've got oGssSKS, aka Tester, who isn't in fact in OGS anymore. He's in TSL, Team SCV Life. He's just unable to change his name thanks to the amazing foresight of Blizzard. But anyway, he's Tester, and he's a Protoss, and he's high level, and he managed to make it into the first GSL but not the second GSL, and in the first GSL he got knocked out by the finalist Rainbow, who didn't manage to go on to win. And on this map it's Jungle Basin, so it's kind of a small map, not really too easy for the Zerg to get lots of bases, so kind of going for any kind of macro economy game as a Zerg on this map is pretty kind of risky, and you don't really want to be doing it, because while you can take an easy second base back here, that's your lot, and taking the third base is a bit of a struggle, while your opponent can also two base and just kind of sit on those two bases. Either if Terran or a Protoss both can sit on two bases and be fairly comfortable, but as a Zerg you really want to get kind of more bases. And 15 drones at the moment, not going for a hatchery. The probe just kind of sat back there, not going for a spawning pool either, so now it's got the spawning pool down. So 15 pool, fairly kind of economic build. SKS, Tester, not too concerned probably, just kind of thinking, okay, he's going for a pool, not going for that hatchery. I'll just sit my probe down here so I can see when he does try to go for it. Maybe stick a pylon down to block him getting that hatchery up, and I can just do whatever I want. And not getting a gateway down, and 17 probes already, so wow, looks like he's going for possibly a forge fast expand, getting the forge down on his front door, going to get a nexus down once he hits the 400 minerals, so going for a very fast nexus. And if the Zerg decides to be aggressive, it looks like he is going to try and get that hatchery down now, and he's going to find it blocked by that probe, so it looks like we're going to have a very fast nexus, kind of more economic opening from Tester than from the Zerg. So he's got the pull down already, while his Tester's just got this forge down, getting a gateway down in fact on his front door. So forge, and then he'll get a couple of cannons probably, just trying to chase that probe away, get that hatchery down. Tester's control not kind of the best, not wanting to bother too much with blocking that. No gas up for either player at the moment, so no chance of any roaches, no chance of any banelings, no chances of any stalkers at the moment. So both players just sticking with the econ game, and really that puts the Zerg at quite a disadvantage because of that two base against two base thing. And we'll have to see what Tester decides to do, whether he goes for kind of gateway push, maybe gets 3 gates in a robo, maybe goes for Stargate. There's kind of lots of different things he could do. Blink Stalkers just kind of over here, blink into the back, take down this hatchery. If he decides to get a Twilight Council, could go Phoenixes, and it looks like we're going to have, he's got a pylon up here just to check these back rocks, but it looks like we're going to have a couple of Zergs taking a poke at those rocks. Eventually they might take him down after a very long time. A couple of Zerglings kind of at the front, but we got that cannon up there just kind of blocking with this small gap here. Normally you'll fill up with the Zealot, but that's not out yet, so when it is we'll probably see that going down there. The Nexus already finished, starting to get probes out of that second Nexus, getting a cannon at that back door, stop these Zerglings being able to do too much to those rocks. A couple of Queens out, just the 2, and it doesn't look like he's going to produce a third, so just getting a creep tumor down, transferring some drones across. But really neither player doing too much, speed just starting now, so it looks like the Zerg kind of happy to kind of sit back for a while, not getting an early roach den, or well, not early anymore, but not getting a roach den down, not going to try and do too much, and the Protoss just happy to sit back, put a few cannons around, and macro up. And if we check the probe counts, 28 probes, 27 drones at the moment. Both players just getting a lot of economy going. Still, now the Protoss has got 2 gas, but that's fairly normal, you get extra gas. Earlier as a Protoss, the Zerg just stuck on 1 gas at the moment. And neither player doing too much warp gate technology, so it does look like we might get some gateways. So we've got 3 gateways going down and another pylon, so it looks like some kind of possible 3 gate with a robo, maybe just 3 gates, just doing a bit of pressure, and the hatchery morphing into a lair at the moment. So really neither player doing too much, and I'd kind of like to see the Zerg, he can't really put on any pressure, but there's only 1 cannon at the front, so if he did decide to get roaches, he could try and put on some pressure at that front door. since there is just the one cannon there, and at the moment that's all he's seen, and 3 gateways. He will be able to produce a few units eventually, but if he put on some earlier roach pressure, he might be able to hit that cannon, I think, from the front door. Might be able to hit the forge without the cannon hitting him, possibly with the extended roach range. And only 2 gateway units up just to sell and the stalker at the moment. And it does look like he's getting a robo facility. And we'll have to see. Roach Warren is coming up now, just kind of a bit too late to really do all that much, since when the Immortal comes out, assuming he gets an Immortal from the Robo Bay, the Immortal's really good against the roaches. So 4 gateways and the Immortal, getting another hatchery up in the main base of the Zerg so we can get some more lava out, which is fairly standard. Something which you don't always see, but it's obviously very useful. It means that you can make sure that you're never kind of lava capped if you miss maybe some queen injects, or if you want to lay a creep tumor down. And now getting some sentries up, so now without the sentries being there earlier, he could have just attacked here, but now that the sentries up, he's basically got almost no chance of being able to push up this ramp, because you can just force field it with the sentries. So he's got a lot of roaches produced, getting the regeneration upgrade I think for the roaches, but +1 weapons for the Protoss, which will be done. Getting Observer out first, in fact, so it looks like, oh, he's going to go for the backdoor rocks. There aren't going to be any Immortals out particularly quickly. The cannons, I'm not sure where the extra cannons were. He put some cannons down, I think, somewhere, but it looks like as these rocks are going to be attacked, they'll go down pretty quickly. The Protoss can see these 4 roaches attacking the rocks, 5 roaches attacking the rocks even, but he can't see the fact that there's another roach and some more Zerglings at the back, so he might not know what's coming. Getting his forces up here, he should be able to sentry force field just when these rocks are down, just put some sentry force fields down, but more roaches coming as well. So we'll have to see if he manages to get the force fields down in the right place at the right time and block off these roaches, or whether they'll be able to come in and do quite a lot of damage to his back expansion, unless he gets some more units out, unless the Immortal comes out. But one Immortal's already out, so he should be moving that now. Yep, towards his back base. Another one on its way, and now the rocks are down. Will he force field? Will the roaches move in? What's going to happen? It's kind of a bit of a standoff at the moment, but it looks like, oh, the Protoss moving out. Bad idea there for the Protoss, I think. Really shouldn't be moving out. He should have hung back. I mean, he didn't lose anything. He did kill a roach basically for free, but it was a risky move. And now, oh, I'm really not sure. It's kind of a tense moment. I'd like to see the Protoss move back so he can just force field off that ramp and just pick at those units with the stalkers. But no, it looks like he's going to completely engage, and he's got the cannons as well, but there's only one cannon, and now he finally uses the force field. But still, that cannon can go down because the force field is too close to the cannon, and a lot of roaches go down. But he's still got a 2 model, so basically the Zerglings have to run away. Not going to be able to do too much, and he really needs some more Zerglings to deal with these Immortals, because the roaches aren't the best against the Immortals. The Immortals are very good against the roach, and now we're going to see more force fields going down. Nice, blocking off some more roaches, taking them down. He's doing pretty well. He's got quite a bit of energy on these sentries. Enough for a good 3 or 4 more force fields, which should block off his ramp again. But it looks like he's got some Zerglings just kind of running through. Now going in again for blocking it off again, and wow, nice force fields again. See, this is why he shouldn't have pushed out in the first place, because he can just do this basically almost all day, especially with this number of sentries, and getting some more sentries coming in. So he's really got a good position here. The Zerg can't really do anything whatsoever, and if you check this front door, that's basically unguarded, but the Zerg's basically committing to this. And if you send maybe some Zerglings to that front door, maybe a couple of roaches, no, he's going to lose even more roaches on this attack. It's really not doing very well. Not a sensible move. The roach range, even though it's been upgraded, isn't enough to do too much, because he can't shoot across this gap here. These other units can just kind of sit back, take whatever's been force field and kill it, while everything else is kind of trapped in the distance. And wow, 65 probes against 44 SCVs. That's a bit too many probes. He's got far too much saturation in his bases, but he's got the economic lead. Checking the income tab, a few hundred more minerals and a tiny bit more gas, but far too many harvesters. Getting +2 weapons to the ground, getting a lot of Zerglings and a Spire now for the Zerg. So it looks like he's going to switch out and try and take this 3rd base here, which is pretty risky, because it's pretty exposed. His creep spread isn't all that far forward at the moment, so he's going to need to work on that, but it looks like the Protoss is actually going to push out. He probably sees that there's that expansion on its way with the Observer, so if he pushes out now, this is kind of the right time to push out, try and catch your opponent off guard. And if you check the supply count, 130 out of 166, so if he loses too many more Overlords, it's going to be a really bad position, because he's going to have to produce Overlords. He's not going to be able to produce any more units, and I think now his supply count, yep, 136 out of 134. The Zerg can't produce any more units at the moment, which is a pretty big problem. It does have that 3rd base coming up, but it's kind of not really going to be soon enough. Only got a few Mutalisks out, having to get some more overlords up. Now he's not supply capped. Oh, he is supply capped again, but he's not in the red, and he's not even producing any more overlords at the moment, I don't think. And now he's going to possibly lose his hatchery unless he moves his troops in, but no, looks like he's going to sack the hatchery, cancels it, loses the drone, not anything else. Going to lose another overlord. He's back in the red, 142 out of 134, and basically I think the Protoss has got it. So many immortals, that's 6 immortals, and another one on the way. These rogues are going to be absolutely useless. The Zerglings, there's quite a few of them, but they're going to have to get in close enough, and with the sentry force fields, that's just not going to happen. There's a few Mulisks out, but there's enough Stalkers probably to just kind of hold them off to make them not be too useful. But oh no, caught out slightly out of position here. Not the best of the force fields, and they're just kind of trapped right next to the army. So, but they're not going to be able to do enough damage really, just because of this sheer number of immortals. So many immortals. Although the Mulisks kind of attacking from the back, but they're going to get taken out by the Stalkers as well. It does look like he's going to wear this army down a slight amount, but really nowhere near enough. And after being supply capped for so long, just not able to produce enough units. His economy was behind anyway, not able to get that third base up, and basically it's the wrong composition, and you can just see all these immortals all basically nearly left in the green, none of them are even in the red, and that's GG. Far too many. Like I said, going 2 base against 2 base, Protoss or Terran always wins against Zerg pretty much in a 2 base situation, especially when you can't put on any pressure, which you couldn't with that back attack. You couldn't put on any front door pressure, and you just lost the game just by going almost too many roaches, and the Protoss countered it almost perfectly, and nice force fields with these little battles down here, and it was just an easy win in the end, just kind of steamrolled in with this massive immortal force which basically just ate up every single roach. So well played by Tester. Always a difficult map for Zerg, so you can't really say it was completely his fault. It's just not the best map to play on as a Zerg player.